And here is my little boy sick here next to me, and this one is singing loudly, and the house is full of people, and then
But there was a story
it was
to the
just
singing.
blank. And then Dorothy just kept on singing.
Do you remember that moment?
There was a story to the singing, though. There was a story to the singing because my dad and them have been lost for some days, right?
And up until that point, you were still hoping.
Yes, that they would that they would come back. That maybe they were incarcerated, or even that they have skipped the country. Because those were one of the things that could happen then. But at the time, I used to have these dreams that really used to bother me. I would get this feeling when I'm no longer going to see somebody. But I had this dream of my dad burning and being mutilated. I had a terrible dream. I couldn't tell my mom this dream.
And you were a 9-year-old little girl.
And I couldn't tell my mom this dream. She knew about that sixth sense. And then she kept on asking me, what are you feeling? But I couldn't tell her what I was feeling. Couldn't tell her. I just told her I can't sense my dad. I can't sense him. Because I used to know when they're coming back, I would sort of get up and go open the door before he arrives at home because I could sense that he's close to the house. And so I couldn't sense. And I was like, no, I can't sense. But she was like, are you sensing something bad? Or are you sensing? I was like, I can't sense. And I've already had my dream. And I couldn't tell her about my dream. And on this particular afternoon, I went to prayer. I was attending girls' prayer at the Anglican church. So I went to the prayer meeting like usual. I went to church. And then older people came to fetch me from the prayer meeting, which was a clue to me that something might have happened. My mom was at my grand's house by then already.
Heavily pregnant.
Heavily pregnant. And then I get into the house, it's full of people. So when the tide was broken, I was from church. That burst into song was probably my way of releasing the tension, because the tension was already built up by them going to fetch me from church, bringing me here. We get here, everybody's quiet, it's just somber. And they were just waiting for me. I was the only person who was missing so that this could be told. So when I got in, it was like I got in and I got into this tension. And then they said it, and I burst into song because song was maybe my way of dealing with issues. Song was my way of announcing. And song was my way of saying there's danger. So, yeah. And people picked up the song. It was a hymn that I sang, and people picked up the hymn. And I guess for a moment I was holding everyone because they kept singing and kept singing and kept singing until they could cry. Some of them could cry, and and it announced, I think, more than the announcement of the death. The song announced the death. And I carried that, literally. And when I broke into song, everybody could break. Because some were singing indeed, some were crying, And what I remembered as a child was that song went on and on and on and on until maybe people could eventually get to realize what it was that was happening. And I think since then, song has really become even prior to that, songs were a big part of my life. Because when we still stayed at my grandmother's with my parents, when we would clean the house, I would be the one who's singing. When I wake up in the morning, I would sing. So people used to call me the clock. That they would know that, okay, Dorothy's up now, so it means it's 6 o'clock, we need to get up and we need to. But song has actually become a very big part of
her.
Of me.
When the police comes to the house in the morning,